So it's like, I mean, you want to really incentivize people, put some money back in our pocket. And you're like, no, that's not what we're here for. We're here to find any scam we can to make you guys so afraid that you'll do whatever we say.
I told him, listen, I will fund your resort under one condition. We're going to have a party. You're going to bring all of the kids that you have right now to this party. If me and my guys are happy with your inventory, then I'll fund your project.
Hey everyone, welcome to our channel.
I'm Waves.
And I'm Molly. We've got
some crazy
TikToks.
TikToks today, so you know.
Sit back and watch with us.
So enjoy.
Viewer discretion is advised. It's for entertainment purposes only. And we're going to get right into it.
Right there.
You guys are really good at fraud and what you tell people. It's kind of like COVID when it was the flu. I mean, really an invisible killer dot. And then it's like, what do we need to do? Tell people that so they go get the vaccine. So here it's like the climate is killing us. All the driving is killing us, right? When it's geoengineering, we don't want to look at that because that would ruin the scam. You know what I'm saying? And so that is to get us out of our cars. You know, as you said, it's not about congestion. It's about how much we drive, right? What a shame. I mean, imagine kids. They're never going to know what it's like to drive a car. That sucks. Man, kids used to be like, I can't wait to be 16 and go drive. And now it's like, sorry, you can't. We got to save the planet. You're going to have to walk and bike. And they're like, what? Kids don't even want to do that. They're like, I'm not doing that. I want to ride. It's like, well, you can go ride the bus for free where you could get kidnapped or something. And so it's just interesting the way you guys do like exchanging of credits with that. I feel like it's like air. At some point, we're going to be charged to just breathe. And so, you know, we'll be able to exchange credits, maybe like a fart for a sneeze. I don't know. But I'm wondering, like, if you guys want me to stay home and save vehicle miles traveled, you could pay me to do it. Because you guys are talking about, you know, changing behaviors and stuff. So I feel like if you want to get us out of our cars, give us some of our money back. Shit. You're not fixing the roads. So it's like, I mean, you want to really incentivize people, put some money back in our pocket. And you're like, no, that's not what we're here for. We're here to find any scam we can to make you guys so afraid that you'll do whatever we say. It's so sad. People are so stupid and they fall for anything, and that's unfortunate. But good for you guys.
I don't have a whole lot. Easily controllable.
You know why we're not seeing what's going on in Italy right now? It's because Oracle doesn't want you to. So over in Italy, they stopped buying anything for the economy. They stopped purchasing a single thing. They stopped going to work. They stopped doing everything except hanging out in their house for a month. For a month. They
Sounds
said,
like a great idea.
fuck the government, fuck the economy, and look, when you stop purchasing and giving them what they want, then we win. It's not protesting. It's not fighting back on TikTok. It's not making videos complaining, and I'm guilty of it as well. But the reason why none of us are seeing what's going on in Italy is because we're silenced from it. Italy went on a ban. They said, I'm not going to contribute $1 to the economy, and let's see who wins. And look at that. They have won, and they have sat back now for a month, not working, hanging out at their house, not spending a dime outside, and they are winning. And now they realized they don't need fancy purchases. They don't need fancy cars. They don't need fancy food from restaurants. They don't need to go out and buy things every day. They realized that, wow, what I have here is actually pretty amazing. And a simple life is kind of better than the life we were living. So the day we stop giving in, stop putting money into the economy, stop going to work collectively as a country, is the day we will win. It's that simple. It is that simple.
Yep.
Stop being so afraid. It can't get any worse.
Once an airplane gets up to cruising speed, it's usually going at 560 miles per hour. So let's put all of this into perspective. Supposedly the Earth is spinning eastward, counterclockwise if you're in the northern hemisphere, at 1,000 miles per hour. So if you were to take an airplane from California to Hawaii, you would be technically going against the rotation of the Earth. So you should get there way, way, way faster. And if you were to take an airplane from Hawaii back to California, well, you would actually be going with the rotation of the Earth. But since it's spinning at 1,000 miles per hour eastward, and you're heading eastward, it would be going 400 miles per hour faster than you. So you should never actually make it to California. But that's not what happens.
Makes sense.
Both flights, there and back, take 5 to 6 hours. So how is that possible if the Earth is spinning at 1,000 miles per hour? And all of the fighter jets never account for curvature. The plane doesn't account for curvature. You can hold a level up in the plane, and it stays level the entire time when it's at cruising speed. It's not repeatedly tipping its nose down in order to account for curvature, and they never account for the Earth's rotation when they land, but I made this video entirely for entertainment purposes only.
A lot of you watching this have probably seen the popular animated TV show Rick and Morty. A mad scientist named Rick decided to invent a machine to serve him butter. When the machine became sentient and realized that its entire sole purpose was to serve butter, it went into a depressive state. This is a good way to understand that Gnostic cruelty of physical existence. Rick's battery on his car quit working, so he had to shrink himself down into a macrocosmic level to go into the battery. There was an entire civilization of living physical entities whose efforts and energy is actually what powered Rick's car. Rick pleaded with Morty and said, do not tell these people that their sole purpose is to power my car. It would create chaos. The living entities, the conscious beings within this reality, wouldn't be able to handle the brutal reality of their existence being for the sole purpose to power some dirtbag's fucking car. It would cause mass suicide. When Rick goes down there as an avatar, he's considered a god. This is obviously funny and humorous to watch for us because we know that that's a TV show and we don't have to worry about that. We live in objective reality, right? There's no way that we are a power source for an evil entity. It can't be. That certainty that we are not a food source for a higher creature that could be, in a way, malicious is hubris. It's ego. We think we're the top of the food chain, and when we find out that we're not, we freak the fuck out. What would happen if our species was to realize that we were a sort of a farm?
Indulge me, I'd like to read 2 pages from advice from the extraterrestrials. Yes, it's true that we have been in contact with your government and heads of power. It is also true that we have been it is also true that agreements have been made and kept secret from your people. It is also true that in the past some of your people have lost their lives. or have been badly hurt to protect this secret. Our hands had no part in this. We contacted your leaders because your planet is in grave trouble. Your leaders said the vast majority of your population wasn't ready for anything like us yet. So we made time agreements with your leaders as to when your people would be made aware of our presence. Your air, your water are contaminated. Your forests, jungles, trees, and plant life are dying. There are several breaks in your food chain. You have an overwhelming amount of nuclear and biological weapons, which include nuclear and biological contamination. Your planet is overpopulated. Warning, it is almost to the point of being too late, unless your people act. There are better ways of deriving energy and food needs without causing your planet any damage. Those in power are aware of this and have the capability of putting these methods into worldwide use.
Wow.
Those in power view it as a military and security threat. That upset me. You mean to tell me that the people in power have the ability to save and better the planet, and they aren't doing it? Amnesty. What do you mean? Complete amnesty to those in power, governments and leaders who have been suppressing the truth, that they can't be held liable for any past wrong deeds. It is the only way these leaders can come forward with the truth. It is necessary that you do this in order to work together and survive.
People in power only want to line their pockets. They're not concerned about telling us the truth about anything.
Body hungry, but if you
It's
know, you
crazy.
know.
Yep.
You know, wake up.
Spraying all that shit all over us. Looks like an explosion.
That's explosive.
I wonder where that is.
That's extraordinary. One person might pay 15, somebody else might pay 99. How do you determine it? Is it based on personal characteristics?
It's
you charge
never
women more?
It's never based on personal
You
characteristics.
charge minors more?
We do not, sir.
What?
It's-
Just people who are suckers? I mean, how do you do it?
Well, there is a cost to carry any kind of bag.
Yeah, but
So
why do
some
you
of the-
charge some people more? I understand the cost, and you made clear money's your bottom line. I get that, but why is it that you're charging some people what, triple, quadruple the amount?
Well, the length of the flight should matter in this as well. So
Yeah, but that's not the data. The data shows is we're talking about the same people on the same flight might get charged radically different prices for a one carry-on bag. You do the same thing for check bags. Why is that?
Right. So just for the record, the $99 charge has been reduced to $79 as a
that's a lot
maximum.
better.
And what ends up happening here is we want to make sure that we can get the best price to the best people at the right time.
The best people? Who would they be?
Sorry, let me rephrase. The right price.
Are those the people who, what? I mean, no, explain it to me. I'm interested. Who are the best people?
Well, that was the misstatement, sir. What we're trying to do is get the right price at the right time. And what that also means is making sure that if someone's on a flight that's now filling up, and we have a lot of, as we talked about, unbundled pricing.
And they get screwed? So like if you have the misfortune of having to book your flight at the end because maybe something's been canceled, then you're going to get screwed? Is that what you're telling me? You're not one of the best people.
Are you referencing just fares
I'm just responding to your testimony. I'm listening to you, and you just said as a flight's filling up, you're going to get charged more.
Not always. Sometimes you'll get charged less.
Exactly. Right. Sometimes, right. But you'll never know, right? That's the beauty of it. It's like Russian roulette. Flying on the airline is,
I would disagree,
you have no
sir.
idea in the world.
I would disagree.
Wait, no idea. You just said it.
It's very transparent.
We'll have it. Listen, there'll be a transcript generated, and I'll send it to you with a bow on it. You can read your own testimony just now. You have no idea what the fee is going to be ever.
So everyone's been sending me the video of the girl who signed up for some kind of subscription of old media, like old newspapers, old magazines. So she was able to track down some of these old Mandela effects and prove them to be true, right? Her theory is that it's basically to hide things from us, to change the past by telling us that it was never this and it has always been this, regardless of our memory. But my question is, why would they do that? Why are they trying to tell us that it was Looney Tunes with a UNES when we know that it was shortened for cartoons and it was always OONS? One of them also talked about Publishers Clearinghouse with the checks going by Ed McMahon, showing up at your house. I don't want to miss Ed McMahon. I don't want to miss Ed McMahon showing up at my house with a big check.
Remember the checks?
Yeah.
And even Ed McMahon has come out and said that he's never done those. Okay, so this newspaper is showing that he did. Right, he doesn't remember doing that shit, but we remember him doing that in another fucking dimension. Well, that's where I come in and I'm like, what would the reason be for corporate America and the higher ups in the government not wanting us to remember that this was this and this was that? Oh, because we switched timelines. Again, if you don't understand what I'm saying, it's not one or the other. Well, it's just corporate America trying to hide these things from us. Yes, corporate America, the government, and whoever the fuck else in the shadow government is trying to hide this shit from us. But why? They're trying to hide it from us because of the timeline shifts. And in conjunction to that and the totality of that, they're trying to hide it from us by saying that these things never happened this way. Because now we're on a timeline where we're seeing these things differently and they're trying to explain why without telling us we switched timelines. It's not one or the other. It's cause and effect. This and that. Left and right. Black and white. Okay? Yeah, I'm a little ticked off because people want to separate them. It's not. Everybody is right. Two things can be true, and this is one of those instances. Okay? Love you, bye.
He gives me his phone, and there's a picture of an 11-year-old girl on his phone. And I'm like, what the fuck? He says, this is Princess. She's still a virgin. We just took delivery of some. She's my gift for you for this party. He started talking about horrific things I could do to this child. And I thought, oh my God, if we could get these children out before they were ever hurt the first time. Now, I had 4 little sisters and I have a daughter. I remembered when each one of those sisters were 11. And I thought if we could get these kids out before they're ever hurt the first time, that would be a miracle. And something he said made me realize that he had more. I said, Fuego, I said, you have more. He called them 0 kilometer miles, right? I said, you have more 0 kilometer miles? He goes, oh yeah, I got 3 or 4 more. I said, you're bringing those to my party. And see, what the plan was I told him, listen, I will fund your resort under one condition. We're going to have a party. You're going to bring all of the kids that you have right now to this party. If me and my guys are happy with your inventory, then I'll fund your project. This was the sting was so that we could get all the kids to the same place so that we could rescue them all on the same day, right? And so I said, you're bringing those other ones to my party too, those 0 kilometer miles. He goes, oh no. He says, they're too expensive. I said, too expensive? I'm already paying this guy $25,000, paying him $500 per child just for a minimum of 50 kids just for 2 hours in the afternoon with them, right? Right? This is how dark humanity gets when we don't fix our shit. This is the reality. And so he's like, oh no, they're too expensive. He said, I already paid him 25 grand. He said, 2,000 for that one. It's going to maybe 5,000 for the little one. It's going to cost you maybe 10,000 more. And I put my hands on my chest and I'm like, you don't think I can afford an extra $10,000? You know, this is eagle me coming through. I've got a nice watch. I've got $2,000 cufflinks on. I've got, I'm playing this part of this wealthy playboy, right? And I said, you don't think I can afford an extra $10,000? He's like, oh, no, Jefe, no. I said, I want every one of those virgins at my party. I said, they damn well better be virgins when they get there. They're not for you. They're for me. You understand? He goes, oh, yeah, Jefe, I understand. This stupid smile. 2 weeks later, we go back down. We meet with the U.S. Embassy, the Colombian federal agents. They provided like 40 agents for us. 4 of them were our waiters. 4 of them were our maids. 4 of them were our cooks. They're not very good cooks, but they're armed. And 25 are there to storm the party. And these guys showed up with 54 kids. We had 3 separate cities going on at the same time. Total over 120 children that day were rescued. And I'm sitting there at this table with these guys and negotiating this. And we put all the kids in the house area because we're waiting for the federal agents to rush in. And there was a delay. We do the signal of ordering tequila. Boom. The federal agent's supposed to come in. They didn't come. We're sitting there with traffickers. Later we found out that it was a major issue on their end, but it was almost a 45-minute delay. In that delay, after we ordered the tequila, then one of the traffickers gets up and goes, okay, time for the party to start. Other traffickers go in, bring the kids out. I'm like, shit, we can't, where's the agents, right? And I talk about that in the Sound of Freedom book that's coming out, all the details of the emotion and going through all of that. So and they bring out these 4 0-kilometer miles. There was an 11-year-old boy from Haiti, right? There was this little girl, the same one he showed me on the picture on his phone, stands her in front of me. She's got long red braids. Her makeup is all smeared because she had been crying. She has a little kitty cat face on her shirt, little pink kitty cat. And I'm sitting on a chair and she's standing up and she's eye level. This was one of the hardest moments of my life. This is what changed everything. All I could see was fear. And I made a commitment to myself, to God, to that child, that I would dedicate my life to eradicating that evil from the face of the earth. I couldn't imagine anything worse. What would get humanity to the point where they thought that was attractive?
That's crazy. I'm glad that they saved all those kids. But this world is sick.
Sick. They know it.
Mm-hmm. It's sad.
Yeah. It's sad.
Ooh.
Man, that's crazy. Wow.
That was right there.
That would make no sense.
That lightning is not like that tree.
Scary, y'all. Cameraman red. I remember when I was a kid and we used to double bad like that, and it'd be sunny out. Parents and them and uncles and aunties and them, they'd be like, that's a double speed this white.
That's good.
Weather wasn't,
heard that.
weather wasn't that bad.
Wow.
It was mild thunder in the rain. Yeah. So they used to say that looks crazy.
That looks crazy.
Oh, like going into something. People
Portal
would
opening
stop
up.
it like, no.
Here are 7 facts about the Bible that will blow your mind and praising Him.
Amen.
Amen.
All right, well, if you made it to the end, guys, thanks for watching with us.
Thank you for watching with us. You know, that
Please.
was, you know, a little something we was learning. You know, learn something every day. You know, so
go ahead and please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel.
Go ahead and check us out again, because we'll be having more. So like and do subscribe. Like you said.
We'll see you on the next one.
See ya.